I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, because that's all it's going to take me to solve all of your closing and sales issue. And if I was on my deathbed and I had to impart one piece of knowledge, one checklist to save my life, the checklist that I'm going to be talking about right now, that is exactly what I will share with the entire world, because this one checklist will help you solve all of your sales and closing issues. So you're going to be able to sign a lot more clients, you're going to be able to make a lot more money, and travel to Bali or wherever else you want to go. But with that being said, I don't have a lot of time to lose. If you're not already subscribed, scroll down and click on the subscribe button. Okay, so here's a checklist of 16 things you need to check if you're having sales and closing issues, and if you're not being able to sign a lot more clients. If you're not able to check off at least one of these boxes, you're going to find out exactly where your closing issue lies. And before we start the video, I'm going to assume you're already getting a ton of qualified leads. Like you're already booking anywhere between 3 to 10 sales calls every single week. But with that being said, the first thing we have to understand is, did we nurture the leads before they jump on the sales call? Did they consume our content before they hop on a call? Like, did they go through some sort of VSL? Did they watch some sort of YouTube video? Did we give them something for free before the sales call to provide value? If we're not doing that, we don't have enough trust built with the prospect, which is why they might be hopping on sales call with us and not closing. So if we're not doing that, that is where your closing issue lies. If we already are, check out this box. Did we close most of their open loops before they hop on a call with us? When a prospect hears about our product or service, they have a lot of open loops in their mind. Like, okay, if this seems valuable, but do they have payment plans? That's an open loop. Or, okay, these guys are super convincing, their product is super valuable, or their service is super valuable, but I saw that one negative review on Trustpilot, that one-star review. What if I'm the second person who's going to have to leave a one-star review? What if this doesn't work for me? That is another open loop. So we have to close most of those open loops on our VSL or with the appointment setter when they're calling the leads before the sales call, or some way, shape, or form. We have to address most of these open loops before our sales call. If we're doing that, we check out this box. Did they receive personalized emails and text reminders before jumping on a call with us? This is super self-explanatory. If you're not doing personalized email and text reminders, if you're not sending them voice messages, if they're not having any sort of connection with you before the sales call, you might be losing the sale right then and there, because again, there's not a lot of trust built up. So if we're doing that, check the box off. If we're not, that is where we're losing our sale. But if you've been able to check all 3 of these boxes, then your closing issue does not lie with anything that's happening before the call. It probably is happening during the call, during our discovery, our offer, whatever. So pre-call process, you're good to go. You're not having an issue here. You're not losing your sale here if you're doing all 3 of these things. Next thing we have to worry about is, did we dig up enough pain and amplify that pain to the point our prospects need our solution? Are we finding out exactly what's not working for them? It is super important for us to, first of all, find out what's already not working for the prospect. And secondly, are we getting them to admit that their lack of results is because of what they're currently doing right now? Because here's the thing, if whatever the prospect is currently doing that's not getting them results, we have to get them to admit that their lack of results is because of those current things. And if they want to get better results, they need something different. And that something different is our product or service. We need to get them to admit this. If we're doing that, if we're finding out what's currently not working for them, and we're also getting them to admit that their lack of results is because of the current things, check out these 2 boxes. If we are not, that is where we're losing our sale. That is why we're not able to close a lot more deals. Are we finding out about their previous buying experiences or lack thereof? Again, super important for us to find out whether they have purchased before and what their experience was. If they have made purchases before, how did that go? What did you like? What did you not like? We're going to be leveraging all of this information during the later part of the call when we're presenting our offer. If they haven't bought before, why not? Whatever reason they give you, whether it was too expensive or some other reason, that is exactly the reason that they're going to give you as well when you present your product or service and when you drop the price. So we have to find that out, and we have to handle that right then and there. If we're doing that, check off this box. Are we pre-handling objections? Again, once we find this out, then we're going to be able to pre-handle all of these objections so that they don't show up during the later part of the call. If we're doing that, check out this box. If we are not, this is where we're losing the sale. Are we finding out their buying criteria? Super important thing to find out. We have to find out what exactly a prospect needs from a product or service. Do they want a lot of one-to-one support? Do they want to not have to do cold calling? Do they want a lot of done-for-you stuff instead of done with or do-it-yourself? We have to find all of these things, because if we don't, then we can get the prospect to their goal. But if we're not doing that with their buying criteria, with providing them a lot of done-for-you service and all the other things that they mentioned, they're not going to buy from us. So are we finding that out? If yes, check out this box. Are we finding out what their goals are? Pretty self-explanatory, so we should be finding out their goals as well. If we're doing all of these things, then our discovery process is not where we are losing the sale. So next we have to figure out is, do we have a product that solves our market's problem? So whatever our market's problems are, whether it's lead gen, whether it's sales, whether it's something else, does our product or service actually solve all of their problem? Are they understanding how our product or service gets them from where they are to where they want to go, following their buying criteria? Again, most closers, where they go wrong is they talk about what they do, not how to solve the prospect's problem, which is exactly why the prospect can't make the connection between how your product or service solves their problem. So the prospect has to understand how your features, your benefits, everything in your product solves their biggest problem, following their buying criteria. If they don't, they're not going to buy from you. So if you're doing this, check off this box. Do they feel like they have found the solution to their problems? Again, like the previous point, the prospect has to feel like your product or service is going to help them solve their biggest problems. If they do, then we check off this box as well. If we're doing all of these, then our product or service is not why we're losing a sale. If we're doing this and also the discovery and also the pre-call process, we are going to be making a lot of sales. Like just doing these three is going to help us make a lot more sales and sign a lot more clients and get a lot more closes. But there's still going to be some prospects that are going to throw objections no matter what, even if we do all of these things properly, which is where we go into step number 4, which is, did we properly handle all objections and get the prospects to get over their fears? Are they 100% ready to get started other than whatever objection they throw at us? So we need to isolate the objection. We need to figure out if they would be joining this if objection was not an issue. If, for example, they throw a price objection at us, Mr. Prospect, other than price, are we 100% in? Or like, are you saying what we have here is going to help you get your goals? If they say yes, then yes, they're going to be 100% ready to get started other than the price objection. So if you're doing that, check out this box. Were you able to figure out if their objection was a genuine logistical issue or just a smokescreen due to fear? Again, when it comes to the price aspect, we have to first of all find out whether this is a genuine issue, whether they actually don't have however much you charge in their vault in the bank, or are they just saying that because there's a lot of fear involved and they might not trust you yet? We have to find that out, because if we don't and we're trying to handle the objection head on when there's actually fear involved and they actually do have the money, then we're going to lose a sale. So if we're doing this, check out this box. If it was a genuine logistical issue, were you able to find a workaround? Again, with the price objection, if they actually do have the money, but they have to move it from another bank or move it from overseas or get resourceful and come up with the money, if it's a genuine logistical issue, are we finding a workaround? If we are, check out this box. If we're not, this is where we're losing the sale. If it was a smokescreen due to fear, were you able to get them out of fear-based thinking? Again, if a prospect is in a fear-based mindset, where they're like, oh, if I do this, I'm not going to be able to get results and I will lose my money. We have to get them out of fear-based thinking into cause-based thinking, where cause-based thinking is us basically showing them that the reason they've not been able to get to their goals is because of the things that they're currently doing right now. Is because over the last few years, every single time they found a solution like this, they said that they need to think about this, or they said that, oh, it's too expensive or something like that. That decision-making pattern is exactly why we're not at XYZ goal yet. So if we want to get to XYZ goal, we need to do something different other than saying this is too expensive, or I can't afford it, or I'm too scared, or I need to think about this. Like, if we genuinely have the money in the vault, do we believe that our product or service can help you get to your goal? If they're like, yes, okay, then let's get you started. Instead of being in that same fear-based mindset, that same fear-based thinking that caused us to have this problem in the first place. But anyways, that was a pretty poor example of how to overcome this. But if we're doing that, if we are able to get them out of fear-based thinking, we check out this box. And if we're doing all of these, if we're doing number 4 and number 3 and number 2 and number 1, there is no reason why we're not going to make sales. Obviously, there are going to be some prospects who are never going to buy from you. But if we're doing all of these things, 6, 7, 8 times out of 10, we're going to be making sales. So go through this entire checklist. I'm going to link it in the description below. Go through this entire checklist, find out what exactly you're currently not doing and where you're losing the sale. Once you find that out, make sure you check off everything in this box. You're going to start signing a lot more clients and closing a lot more deals as well. I will be making a lot more of these videos where I specifically go over every single possible objection. I specifically go over the discovery process, the offer part, and also upload a lot of my own sales call recordings over the next few weeks. So if you're not subscribed already, scroll down and click on the subscribe button. But with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Take care.